Thanks for choosing to watch this video in my channel. Today we will talk drones and we will talk DJI Mini 2. After a bit more than 1 year of quite decent use of that mini compact 249 grams of DJI drone Mini 2, I decided to make a long-term review to go through the tech specs, to go through some of the functionalities of the drone and to give my opinion about different situations and scenarios where I've used the DJI Mini 2. So let's make a start. I've been having the DJI Mini 2 drone for a bit more than a year now, and this is the first reason for me to decide to make this long-term review of the model. The second reason is that it's December already. This is nearly the Christmas period. Everybody is looking for a gift, everybody is looking for something for either himself or to make a special one happy. So drones and drone hobby is getting more and more popular all around the globe. I'm sure if you're here, most of you are thinking about giving a drone as a gift. So DJI Mini 2 is one of the most budget adequate and best options for a drone to start with. So why and what's my opinion on that? First thing is the price. After the DJI Mini 1, which is actually cheapest drone of DJI, this is DJI Mini 2, which pretty much looks exactly the same, but it's much better. Price-wise, you can get the standard version for about $450 or 450 euro. What is the basic version? You basically get the drone and the remote control and one battery. That's it. There is DJI Fly More combo, which is available for all of the modern DJI drones. This brings you a drone, a remote control, 3 batteries, charging hub, carrying case, some extra propellers and some other accessories that are expected to make your life easier. The Fly More combo of that one costs about 600 euro or 600 US dollars at the moment. And maybe around Christmas there will be some discounts, some sales, let's see. What makes this drone a perfect choice and what was the main reason for me to buy it, so I can use it together with my DJI Phantom, for example, is that it's really small, it's tiny. You see how big it is. You can easily keep it in the pocket of your jacket, keep the drone in one of the pockets, put the remote control in the other pocket and you're good to go wherever you want. You have that flying camera, which is really handy, makes an amazing, lovely quality of photos and video for the price and for the camera sensor, the smaller little camera sensor it has. It performs amazingly well. Now, as you may guess, I'm flying drones quite a lot. Either that one, either a much bigger DJI Phantom, either something in between. So all the times I fly around, and if people come and stop by and ask me some questions, these questions are always two. Not always two, but mainly two. So what's the range of that drone and how long does the battery stand? Let me answer these two now. What is the range? So the tech spec of drone comes in 2 options. One is for Europe, one is for the US. These are different standards. So the European version is set to reach up to 6 kilometers in one direction. And the US version is up to 10 kilometers in one direction. So now 6 kilometers back, reaching your point where you want to reach and coming back is doable with one battery. 10 kilometers there and back is quite risky to try with one battery, nearly impossible, but you can find on YouTube quite some videos that are actually successful in doing so. Keep in mind that the DJI Mini 2 uses the OcuSync 2.0 technology. That's not a Wi-Fi drone anymore. That's not a drone like the DJI Mavic Mini, some of the older DJI Phantom models, DJI Spark, and some other Wi-Fi drones that create a Wi-Fi network. The drone itself creates a Wi-Fi network, your phone connects to that network, and that's how the connection works. So the more crowded, the more Wi-Fi networks are around, the worse your connection would be, the lesser the range you can reach would be. OcuSync 2.0 is a completely different technology, much stronger, much more stable, and gives a lot more opportunities and possibilities for you. Of course, these 6 or 10 kilometers in the 2 different versions are measured in perfect situation, perfect scenarios, no other stuff that can make your signal, your connection worse. In real life, I can reach about 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers in the city, up to that. Most of the times it's 500 meters up to 1 kilometer, depends on how crowded the area is. Everything around you makes the signal and the connection worse. So that's the real life results that I have achieved so far. Now, in terms of battery, you get one battery in the standard option, standard variant you can purchase, and you get 3 batteries, oops, not that one, and you get 3 batteries in the Fly More combo for DJI Mini 2 together with the charging hub. So one battery, this battery, lasts 31 minutes according to the manufacturer. Again, that's perfect scenario, which is never the case. In real life, you can reach 25-26 minutes at most, depends how far away you go, how much you use the motors to move the drone, and so on. Anything between 24 and 28 minutes is quite reachable, quite doable with one battery. Of course, if you want to take it down to 0, never do that with your battery. Always try to land at about 15 or 20% of the charge remaining. This makes you feel safe, have some buffer to allow you to come back if some risky situation occurs. And second thing, this is good for the battery life. The other one, the black battery I've shown you, is for DJI Mavic Mini, so the previous version. However, this battery is compatible with DJI Mini 2, so if you have some of these batteries for the older model, you can use them in DJI Mini 2. The other thing is not applicable. By the way, you cannot put the DJI Mini 2 battery in DJI Mavic Mini drone. The difference, this one is heavier. The DJI Mavic Mini, the black battery, is heavier than the original Mini 2 battery, and at the same time it brings less charge and less flying time. With this one, if you take it down to 0%, you can make about 22 to 25 minutes at most. Again, don't deplete it down to 0%, never. Charging time, if you charge your battery, and charging, by the way, you put your battery in your drone and you connect your drone to outlet or to power bank via the USB-C port that you get here, and you also see on the remote control. So you no longer need to carry around big battery chargers, etc. You just use USB-C cable and charge both of your devices. Now, if you get the Fly More combo, or if you buy the charging hub separately, you can charge up to 3 batteries together, not at the same time, one after the other, but at least you don't need to change them and move the batteries within the drone. So you put 3 batteries in the hub, and all of them get charged at in about 4 hours. So that's quite good. And by the way, I always encourage you to purchase the Fly More combo, especially for the batteries. None of my drones so far was actually purchased as a Fly More combo. I always purchase the standard version and then I buy more and more batteries. This comes quite expensive. You need to buy a carrying bag as well, which are not cheap products. And yeah, consider the Fly More combo. That's always the most efficient option. Now about the atmosphere, about the weather conditions you can fly in. According to the manufacturer, the DJI Mini 2 can fly fine, just fine, in a range between 0 and 40 degrees Celsius. I've been flying in about -12, -15 degrees Celsius, which was quite fine. The battery life is much lower, of course. I made about 17-19 minutes of flight, and of course I left some charge for the landing. Make sure that whenever you need to fly in cold weather, no matter how cold, the battery life is always affected. Make sure that before you fly, you keep the battery at a warm place as long as you can before the actual flight. You can keep it in your pocket, in your car, to keep it warm. If you carry it around with you at -10 degrees Celsius and put it in the drone, the performance would be quite awful. If you fly at negative temperatures in Celsius, make sure that you don't do that in wet weather. So never fly in rain, never fly in snowfall, never fly in negative temperatures Celsius when it is wet, when there is fog, when there is whatever you feel when the air is wet. Why I say that? I was flying once at about 100 meters of height, and it was -1, -2, -3 degrees Celsius, but it was quite wet, it was foggy, and it was higher up in the mountain. Everything was going fine until it seems at least one of the motors got some ice, so the wet air, these kind of little water drops collected on the propellers. Then the negative temperature made all that icy, so at least one of the motors was blocked and the drone fell down from about 100 meters of height. The other motors were still rotating, trying to stabilize it, so it didn't actually fall. It wasn't really a free fall, but it fell and hit the ground quite heavily. I was lucky that there was no issue with the drone afterwards. But make sure if you fly negative temperature Celsius, it is in dry weather. If it is wet, you really risk your drone, but mostly you, people around you, cars, whatever is around you. Wind resistance. It is wind resistance level 5. Let me check. It means that it can stand wind gusts reaching between 29 and 38 kilometers per hour. That's 9 meters per second. This is quite good. You can fly in these winds and in even higher speed of winds. I've also tried that. Another thing you should be aware of in that case, if you fly in heavy winds. When you go towards your target, always try to fly together, always try to fly against the wind. So your speed would be lower, the motor pressure and the power they need would be higher, the drone would move slower, but you will be sure that when you are coming back, you will fly together in the direction of the wind, and you will be sure that your drone will reach you safely. Why I'm saying that? A couple of weeks ago I was flying towards a river I wanted to take some photos of in quite heavy wind. I'm sure it was at least 40 kilometers per hour, the gusts. So I ignored this advice I just gave you, and I was flying towards the river together in the direction of the wind. It went fine, it went extremely fast, I reached the target very quickly, I took my shots and then I decided to start coming back. That's when the trouble came. So flying back against the wind, it was really slow speed. It was about maybe 4-5 meters per second, which is really low for that drone, and that's at full power. So the battery was getting depleted, the power was full, and the drone was struggling to move towards me. At the end, at about 8-10% of the battery, the drone reached me. It landed successfully, quite shaky in the wind, but it was alright. It was a very risky situation. Make sure that when you fly towards your goal, you fly against the wind, no matter how difficult it looks. So that way, when you're flying back, you fly with the help of the wind and everything should be safe. Now, discussing these situations, we come to the risk of losing signal. Losing signal is something which is quite sure what will happen afterwards with that drone and with all the other DJI drones actually. It has a GPS module inside. So when you set up your flight, you switch on the remote control, you switch on the drone, and you wait a couple of seconds, maybe a minute or two, for it to connect to satellites, to GPS satellites. Then it says that your home point has been saved, stored. That's the position where you are. You check the height you set for the return to home procedure, and you're ready to go. Now, if you lose signal, or for any other reason, if you want to take your drone automatically back to the position where it took off, you can either press the button on the remote, you can press the button on the DJI mobile app, or the drone can start flying towards you automatically if it loses signal. Now, I've mentioned the DJI Fly app, There is another note I should make here. If you are using an Apple device to fly with, iPhone, iPad, whatever, the DJI Fly app works perfectly fine. If you are using a Google Play Android phone or tablet, also most of the cases it's fine. Now, if you are using a Huawei phone or tablet, it is risky now because it uses the Huawei app gallery, and there is a list of compatible phones. Not all Huawei devices are there. So if the DJI Fly app is not compatible with your device, you have nothing to do. You cannot use the app, you cannot fly your drone. So always, if you are looking to buy this drone or whatever for yourself, or buying it as a gift for anybody, check the list of supported devices for the DJI Fly app. Again, if it's not supported device that you are trying to fly with, you can be in quite trouble and you need to think about changing your device or getting a new one specifically to fly your drone, which is never a cheap solution. By the way, throughout the video you're seeing quite some video samples from different locations in Bulgaria. These are in full HD resolution. The camera can make quite decent, quite nice 4K videos as well, but I cannot show them in that timeline, in that video, because all the other samples I have are in full HD, including the video recording from my phone for the rest of the video now. But yeah, you can make videos in 4K or in full HD or in 2.7K, which are really nice in terms of quality for the price and for the small sensor of the camera you get. You can take raw photos with this thing, and also there are some quick shot modes, which are predefined setups for your flight. So these can be flying around a circle of a target of your choice, setting up the radius within which you want to make a 360 circle around that object within the drone's range, of course. It can be a setup that makes your drone fly back and upwards, so you go away of your target. You see some samples now, and there are some other quick shots as well. In terms of object and danger avoidance, the drone has two sensors here, so it can only sense if there is something dangerous below the drone. It doesn't have sensors for front or back or sides or upwards. It just has these two sensors at the bottom, so don't really count on them, because most of the dangers come from front of the drone. Downloading your content, you can do that by taking the micro SD card of the drone and connecting it to your device. You can do it by connecting your drone to your remote and then to downloading on your phone. You can also use the quick transfer feature of this drone. So this is something that is quite nice. You can just switch on your drone, connect your phone wirelessly to the drone's network and download your content, photos or videos with speed up to 20 megabytes per second, which is really quick transfer. Another thing, now here, if you want to connect your phone and you need to connect the device to the remote control to fly the drone, because of the OcuSync 2.0 technology, you need to use the cable. So there is a lighting cable for Apple devices, micro USB and USB-C cables, all included in your box coming with the drone. Whatever device you want to use, you can connect the remote control to it with the cable. You put your device here. You can see you cannot really put even a 7-inch tablet here, but all types of phones would easily fit, and this cable stays in. Let me just put it inside like that. The remote control sticks of it are here in these two slots underneath at the bottom of the remote. You just put them here and two joysticks work like that. What else you have here? You have the automatic landing return to home button. You have this switch for the 3 speed modes. So you have cinematographic, normal and sport. So the sport is the fastest, it drains the battery the fastest as well, but the highest speed is achieved in the sport mode. This button here is to switch on or off your remote, or just to check the battery charge of your remote. Then here is the button to switch between photo and video modes, and here is the function button where you can choose whatever you want to do with it. At the top here is the row button, which moves the camera up or down, and here is your shutter button. You can start or stop video recording, or you can take a photo with this button. So that's it, pretty simple. And actually, you see, the remote is actually bigger than the drone itself in folded state. Now, this drone is really small and compact. It may make you feel really confident in your skills, in your knowledge, no matter what kind of experience with drones you have already. Don't fall for that. I mean, don't take too much risks. Always take care of your drone, be aware of the route you're going to fly, the target you want to reach, and don't be overconfident, because all kinds of issues, dangers and risks and losses, flyaways happen when you least expect them. Now, on that topic, I always recommend you to get the DJI Care. DJI Care, you can get it for 1 or for 2 years for all DJI drones, and of course it's extra fee paid when you purchase your drone. So whenever you have something happen with your drone, as long as it's with you physically, you have it with you, no matter in what state, broken or whatever, you can send it to address specified by DJI, and again, for a small fee you can get a replacement, a brand new drone for you. It's extra money, it's extra fee, but it's much cheaper than what you will pay for purchasing a new drone without DJI Care insurance. So do that at the moment you purchase your drone. Pretty much that's the final of the video. I hope I helped you make up your mind, deciding whether it's a good choice for your drone or for somebody else in the Christmas period or whenever you watch this video. If you like the video, show it by thumbs up, clicking the like button, subscribe to my channel. Any questions you have for this drone or for whatever on drone topic, ask them in the comments. I'll be happy to help if I can. Thanks again for watching, and have a happy December and happy holidays. Bye bye guys, see you next time.